Oh, we're on the heat shield.
Yes. Like I said, this is the Flintstones. That's the Flintstones.
Why does it say mic gain?
Did you say what is the Flintstones? And he wonders why we get pick on him about ageism.
That's not okay in the workplace. Ageism, not acceptable. Well, we're going to need to find some tech screws and a floor pan, maybe a new tub. Good. I'm going to start Tech Tuesday update with the Don't Give Up the Ship sticker, because this Tech Tuesday is a grumpy old man Tech Tuesday update, because some days you get the bear and some days the bear gets you. So I'm going to not give up the ship, and we're gonna do this for you. Let's look around at what we got going on. We are busy. We've got plenty to work on. We've got this bad JKU in, which we have done on and off things for years at this point. At this time, it has a Ultimate Dana 44 front axle. It has a Jasper engine in it. We've done a lot of other service and maintenance on this particular Jeep. Interestingly enough, we always have to keep this one kind of low in and out for easy entrance and egress, but it's got these sweet General Grabber X3s. Kind of fun because the Jeep in front of it has the General Grabber X3s as well. And that Jeep in front of it, if you've been paying attention, is currently the bane of my existence, in the sense that it has a floating short to ground issue, which I have yet to be able to figure out. And that one has been here for a hot minute at this point. So we'll be working through this one. It's a wheeler, so it's well used, well loved. We're doing some TLC to it, and we're gonna throw a floor pan in the front. We're not promising anything beautiful or amazing, but just kind of solid footing. On rack 2, we have got this nice little TJ, and it's cleaned up okay. As far as this one, we're gonna be putting in, guess what? The train is going. Go figure. And we're gonna be doing the floor supports on this particular Jeep. That's a pretty common issue for these to have. As this floor support starts to break down, it starts to buckle right around the body bolts themselves. A lot of in and out is, weight compression and just regular, as the suspension travels and your shock loading, this is what transfers the energy from the chassis to the body itself. So we're gonna be putting in new floor supports, the middle and the rear on both sides. And we'll have that done here in the next day or two, help out the customer. A big challenge with those is that we end up having to take out these bolts and the bolts above the rear axle, and these almost always break and cause us lots of problems. Surprise, no difference in this. It's gonna do the same thing. We're here for it, we'll figure it out. In the CJ corner, there's lots of cool stuff, but we'll go outside, look around, and then come back in. There's about 2,200 Jeeps on property right now. We've got the tank, our JKU Tank Green, and obviously that's one of my favorite ones. It has been all over the country. The owners of that particular Jeep just use it to potential. They were at the Killbuck Jamboree and smashed up some of the lower skid armor at the control arms, and certainly their steering stabilizer at minimum. So we'll get under, kind of see what the damage has been done at that particular Jamboree and see what we can do to help correct that. We've got the side piece in the background. That's currently getting a re-geared rear 44, re-gearing the front, and a small lift as well. So we're working that in, pretty cool little 4-cylinder job. On the far side of the Tank Green, we'll walk over to that one. I'm pretty smitten with this Jeep because back 20 years ago, this is how we built them. This is really cool. It's got a Wagoneer front axle and or a Grand Wagoneer front axle from the late 80s, and then it's got an Isuzu Trooper 44. If you would have watched one of our previous Tech Tuesday updates, you probably would have seen this one up in the air. Right now we're just waiting on the Adams drive shaft to get this Jeep in and finish that job up. It's on its break-in cycle for the front axle. Front axle is fully rebuilt at this point, and it should be tight and right. I'm pretty happy with that. And it's just a really neat Jeep because that's exactly how they were built 15, 20 years ago. And it's kind of like a blast from the past seeing it and experiencing it again. Down from that, we actually have a JKU that came in for an Alpine restyle package, an i509, which is the top of the line Alpine. And we were working on it last week. It also got a remote start and a 7-pin Mopar wiring harness all installed on it. The downside is that the Alpine stereo is misbehaving. Remember how I was saying Grumpy Man Tuesday updates? We're waiting on things, parts are misbehaving, you know, Jeeps are not cooperating, all of that kind of stuff. That's kind of par for the course right now. At Alpine functions as the radio, but when it comes to the actual computer interface, how it actually communicates with the Jeep, nobody's home. So we have to wait for a whole bunch of other companies, their satellites to link up and their people to talk to their people, and for them to give us another radio. So it just works. That would be nice. We'll spin around. I do love this particular LJ here. You can kind of see it in all its glory. These are Genrite front aluminum fenders. This is actually an aluminum cowl armor. And then this is a steel slider from Motobilt, rear corner armor, and rear flares. And he went ahead and he powder coated with a local powder coater, doing the sliders and the rear flares in a brushed aluminum, and I think it looks awesome. Additionally, this orange is kind of that classic Mopar orange, and while it's just a hair brighter than the body itself, I think it works really well. So overall, nice clean Jeep. We went ahead and did the flush mount rear tail lights and went ahead and just dropped the rear bumper, put that on in place. Love to do something a little different with the rear bumper because it's so big, but you can only do so much at a time. And this is where the customer is able to stop at, and I think it's awesome otherwise. We've got this Renegade. This is the V8 Renegade that was in a few months ago. We're going to be putting a stereo system in it, doing a little bit of fit and finish work to it. Otherwise, it's very cool, and it's just here for little trim pieces. We have that, the Mossy Oak Wrap Edition. It's got a new soft top and some front end work going on very shortly. We have the two-door XJ, which has been on property for a really long time, and we want to build a stroker motor for it. And ideally that will be happening sooner than later. And then obviously the yellow LJ, which just got an Alpine head unit upgrade as well recently. As we spin around the side, as we go past my Ram project, we've got the everyday, everyman's TJ. We're gonna be doing a special video just on it regarding doing a frame off. So it's a reasonably low mileage TJ, but the rust and the salt has touched it in a bad way. So one of those frames that I went to Charleston for is going to be going under that Jeep, and we're going to be pulling that together here in the very near future. And then the buggy is back for some runnability issues. So lots to do. We're going to finish up by heading inside and scoping out the CJ7 or the CJ Restoration Corner here. So in all the vintage goodness, we have the hashtag Not a Restoration, which is coming together swimmingly. A lot of fine tuning, fit and finish issues. We're still waiting on the supplier to bring us our corresponding bucket. We've got some interior trim pieces coming. Some of the seats are already getting set in. We have our Tuffy center console in place. There's a lot of devil in the detail work that is being done on this Jeep at this point and is yet to come. We've got stereo system, we've got the HVAC system down there, so the blower motor and the HVAC is getting rebuilt at this point. We're just slowly but surely every day bite off a little more and get some work done on this. With that said, we've made leaps and bounds on the Beach Cruiser. This whole windshield is new to the Jeep. That the color match, whether the camera picks up on it or not, over here we have probably 40-year-old paint that who knows where, how, what this body was painted many, many, many years ago. And our guys went ahead and were able to do their best on color matching the windshield frame. So this is a replacement windshield frame, painted, honestly in-house by us at this point. And then the windshield is actually really cool and unique about it is that it is actually a YJ, so an 87 to 95 Jeep Wrangler YJ windshield frame, which one of our friends at Safelite went ahead and professionally installed and glued into position. So it's a real nice seal. It's not going to leak or whistle, sometimes like a CJ windshield does. And overall, it's just a super clean installation. Look who's coming to visit us. Hey, old man. Hi. Guess who's not leashed up today? You can finish the video with me. Usually he's over by my desk hanging out. Finally, we'll head over to the M38. It's a little bit of a storage table at the moment. Not great, but we're getting a number of the parts and pieces back from Powder Coat, and ideally that will be starting to look like a Jeep very soon. All right, folks, I hope you liked Grumpy Man Tuesday update. Oftentimes things are going very, very well for us. Today, things are being a little more challenging, and that's okay. That's part of life. We still get to wake up and play with Jeeps every single day, which is pretty cool when you think about it. And next week, we'll actually have some other really cool coverage happening, so you'll definitely want to tune in for that and check that out. All right, I think that's it for us for now. We got a lot of work to do. Until then, Jeep family, Jeep on.